What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jane. I'm a personal trainer based in New York City, and today I am back on reviews. So I'm going to be reviewing Madeline moves today. I want to give a quick disclaimer that these are all of my personal opinions. These are all based out of my personal experiences through me doing this program and also through my experience of being a trainer working with my clients. So please keep in mind that different programs are going to work for different people. But today I'm going to go through my pros, my cons, my overall thoughts, and who I would and would not recommend this program to. I also want to note that for this specific review, I did jump around because she has 3 program options and I wanted to see like what they were all about. So I did jump around from program to program. I did not stick to one the entire time, so please keep that in mind. I wanted to get a lot of information about the app as a whole for you guys in case it was something that you were looking at, and I wanted to see what the whole app had to offer. So with that, let's jump on into my review of Madeline Moves. Start off with some general information about what the program is. So on the website there's not a ton of specifics about the program, so I wanted to just go ahead and give you guys all the details before you went ahead and made this purchase. So no matter what program you're on, you're going to get 5 workouts a week, and that includes a warm-up workout and a cool down-ish. We'll get to that later. And you're going to choose between 3 programs that she has for you. So the first one you can do is the weekly moves workout, and this is just uploaded weekly. It's not all like put out for you, so these get uploaded every single week to the app. This is 5 days of intermediate workouts, and the website says that these are recommended for body comp changes or hypertrophy based training. So basically, if you want to grow your muscles, this is going to be the program for you to do. And then on the flip side of that, we have Move Sweat Shred. I don't know why I can never say that. Move Sweat Shred. Move Sweat Shred is an 8-week workout plan, and it says that it's geared towards endurance athletes, aka there's going to be higher reps, lower weight, and probably a lot of cardio. The last one you can choose from is Move Sweat Shred Anywhere. This is Madeline's like at home program. So she recommends this for anybody who's traveling, who's working out from home, if you have limited equipment. Basically the whole thing is just bands and body weight. So you have access to all of those programs when you sign up, and to sign up it's only $20 a month or $200 for the entire year. So you get a lot for your money. So let's go ahead and jump into the pros. I think my biggest pro is that it's super easy to follow. The app is laid out just so clean. I never really had any questions, but if you do have any questions, in the app she actually has walkthrough videos that are going to walk you through exactly how to use everything in the app. So I thought that that was pretty cool. I skimmed through those and I found those very helpful just getting started at the beginning. Sometimes it's nice to just have like a quick breakdown of the app because, as y'all know, I'm not very tech savvy, and I've done a lot of these apps where I am just like so confused the whole time. So I found this very easy to follow, especially with those walkthroughs. Once you start doing the actual workout, you have the option to view it from beginning to end as a whole, or you can like scroll through the actual individual workouts. So I like that aspect too, because I just hate like having to break up when I'm in the middle of an exercise. I don't want to have to go back and find where I am. I like that I can just click through and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing next, this is what I'm doing after that. So I found that very easy to scroll through, very easy to find my spot, and as you click through them, it actually checks off that you've done the exercise. You also have video examples of each exercise. As you guys know, I love visuals. I love when you can actually see a video of somebody doing the exercise. I find this extremely helpful, especially in fitness. We all have different names for different things depending on like who you're from, who you were trained by, where you got your cert from, all those things. Everybody has a different name for everything. So I love when there are video examples because like we need to know what you're doing, you know? You also have access to a calendar. You can schedule your workouts and keep track of your workouts, which is very helpful, especially if you're looking for accountability. And yeah, overall, I just found the app was so clean and just so easy to click through. So user friendliness definitely gets a 10 out of 10. So if you're into tracking your workouts, this is a really good app to be able to do that through. You have a lot of different options on ways that you can track your workouts. First of all, you can track the time of how long it took you to get through the workout. I think that if you were doing like Move Sweat Shred, like you're training for endurance, seeing how fast you can get through the workout, that's a really great way to track your progress. It also tracks your calories. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it does say that it tracks that. And then for each individual workout, rep, set, all those things, you can track how many reps you did, how many sets you did, what weight you did. You can really go back and like fidget with it a lot. So I think that that's also great, not only for endurance athletes, like how many reps could you do, which is a great way to track your progress as well, because if in the first week you're doing jump squats and the goal is to get to 15, but maybe you kind of burn out at 10 over the weeks, you get to 15, and then you can see yourself grow from 10 to 15. So I think that that is encouraging and motivating way to be able to track your progress. And I also just think that like when you track like skill-based or rep-based or weight-based, anything like that, I find that extremely rewarding. I know when I'm training myself and I'm trying to do whatever and I can't maybe like hit the amount of reps that I wanted to do or the weight that I wanted to do, I know that for me it is really, really rewarding to see myself grow to that goal weight. And then if you're into progress pictures, it actually has a place where you can upload pictures on the app. So again, just super convenient to be able to track all of that and watch yourself grow as you go along. Something else that I thought was very cool but I couldn't figure out is that on my profile it says follow/following. So I think that there is an aspect of this that you can like talk to other community members. I couldn't really figure this out, and honestly I literally just saw that this morning, so I didn't put a ton of energy into that. But I think, don't take my word on this, someone comment below if you know, I think that there's a way to connect with other community members, which I love when they have this in programs. I think that it's so cool to be able to talk to people who are going through the same thing as you are, especially if you guys are like doing the same program. Like if you are all doing the Move Sweat Shred program or the weekly moves, it's so nice to be able to talk to people who are going through that. Yeah, I think that that's just a really great way to connect with other members and to help stay motivated, cheer each other on, and watch each other grow together. And then also something I discovered, which I didn't test out but I thought was super cool, was that there is a spot in settings where you can actually send a message to Madeline / a trainer. I'm not exactly sure who it goes to. I'm assuming it goes to Madeline's team. So you can ask questions right through the app. I thought that that was such a cool feature. I haven't seen that before on any of the programs that I've reviewed, so I love that touch. I love that she is there for her community and is ready to answer questions and like actually help people achieve their goals instead of just being like, here's a workout, have fun, you know? Back to accountability, I thought that this was a cool feature that you can actually get email notifications weekly. So I get them sent to my email. It's a weekly email that tells me like you have workouts scheduled in your app. So I think that that's a nice reminder, especially if you're focused on accountability. This is a great feature. It gets emailed straight to your inbox just as like a friendly reminder of like, yo, schedule in your workouts, go do your workout, you know? But also if you don't like that, you can go into settings and turn that feature off. And while we're talking about settings, just some other things that you can do in there. You can switch to metrics if you're anywhere but the US. You can also sign up for her newsletter and personalize a bunch of details in there. So again, this app just has so much to offer. So those are all of my pros. I want to go through the cons now. I don't have a lot of cons, but I do have a couple that I think are important to talk about. So my first big thing is that there isn't really a cool down. I mentioned this in the beginning. There is a general warm up and a general cool down, but both of them are just cardio. It's 5 minutes of cardio and then 5 minutes of like low intensity cardio at the end. So I do wish that there was a more workout specific warm up and cool down. That is just one big thing. Warming up and cooling down specifically to the exercise that you just did will help prime your muscles for the workout. It's gonna help activate you so that you're using the right muscles as you go along, and then a cool down is gonna help you stretch it out afterwards, slowly bring down your heart rate. It reduces your risk of injury. You're gonna get a better workout in, and in my opinion, you're gonna have better progress. So I do wish that that had been added in. My second big thing is that there's a lot of knee dominant movements. So lots of squats, lunges, jumps, burpees. God, so many burpees. I hate burpees. I don't know why people like them, but some of y'all do, okay? And I'm not on the burpee train. This is an extremely knee dominant program. All of them are, all three of them. If you're focusing too much on the quads, you're gonna have imbalances between the anterior and the posterior sides of your body. We live in an anterior world. Pretty much everything we do is all in the front of our body. We type, we text, we walk upstairs, we walk around. All those things are using a lot of quads. We sit down, we stand up, all those things. So I wish that there was just more of a focus on hamstring and glutes, because the posterior side of our body just doesn't get as much love as it really should. Training the glutes and hamstrings is going to help you run faster and more efficiently. Yeah, so I think even in the endurance program, I understand why there's a lot of knee dominant work, because she does add in step ups, jumping, all of those things, but I would have loved to see just some more glutes and hamstring. The general rule of thumb is that you want 2 pulls to a push, push being knee dominant, pulls being your hinges, glute dominant, hamstring dominant. Think like bridges, deadlifts, single leg hinge, stuff like that. So the second thing that I want to tack onto that is that this is a high impact program. Just a lot of jumping, which is great for some people. So this is kind of like a pro/con. If you like jumping, Madeline's your girl. For some people, too much jumping just like isn't what you need in a program. If you have a history with like back pain, knee pain, chronic ankle sprains, anything like that, you want to stay away from high impact exercises. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do this program, but if you want to do this program and you do fall into any of those categories, I would just be prepared that you may need to find different movements for some of these. So you might need to find alternatives for some of these exercises, like burpees, like squat jumps, all of those things. You just need to figure out a different way to move around it. It's not impossible, it just takes a little bit of extra work. So this emphasis on knee dominant movements also continues into the upper body days, which I thought was kind of interesting. I get what she was trying to do by adding in like some cardio bursts, that's what she calls them, into these move, sweat, shred anywhere. She does that a lot in the move, sweat, shred anywhere program, where like she'll have an upper body day, but then you have these cardio bursts where you stand up and you'll do like burpees and squat jumps and like lateral jumps and stuff like that. In a way, I think it's cool and I think it's a good idea, you know, depending on the person and what you were looking for. But the reason that I'm not a huge fan of it in this program is because you're working out 5 days a week, and this is squished between a leg day and a full body day. So I don't really love that we're working the legs so much over and over again in that knee dominant pattern. If you've watched any of my other videos, you probably know that I am very big into functional fitness. So I'm a big fan of full body. So there's definitely a way to do it. You just need to mix up your movement patterns and your planes of motion, which we're not really getting a whole lot of here. It's a lot of sagittal, front to back, up and down movements, and again, a lot of knee dominant movements. And the reason that I think this is so important to note is that if you do overtrain the same muscle group, you're not going to be able to get to that same level of performance that maybe you started at. So you may not be able to get the progress that you want, because if you're working that knee dominant movement every single day, your quads are going to be tired, and if they're not getting any rest, they won't recover fully, and therefore you won't be able to perform at 100% the next day. So it's really important to give your body a rest. It's really important to take days off, switch up your movement patterns, switch up your planes of motion, so that you're hitting different parts of your body instead of just the same muscle group over and over and over again. So I personally think that this is kind of a con. I haven't even told you what it is yet. So this is a con on my list, is that she does not use progressive overload in any of her programs. And progressive overload essentially just means that you take the same workout and make it a little bit harder every week. So for example, if I'm starting my week 1 and I can do like 10 jump squats, that is my max, that's all I can do. So the next week, maybe I would try to do 11, and then the next week I would try to do 12. So I make it a little bit harder every week. The fastest way to get results, the fastest way to get progress, to gain muscle, to gain endurance, all of those things. So yeah. So I think it's interesting that she doesn't use that, but every workout instead is like a completely different workout. Her move, sweat, shred program, and it's like the first day is legs and glutes, and it changes, like the whole workout changes every single week. For me, progressive overload is essential in a program. Yeah, from what I've seen, it gets you to your goals faster, and it is a really great and healthy way to be able to track your progress. When you can do more reps or move on to a progression of an exercise, I love seeing that, and I find that extremely rewarding. And some people don't want to be doing the same workout weekly. They just want to mix it up, and they just, you know, need to get out there and move. And that's fine too. That's more of a personal preference. So on to my overall thoughts of the program. Big thing, I think that this is a great price point for it. You get a ton of bang for your buck, access to 3 programs. You could go through like the whole move, sweat, shred program and then jump into the weekly moves, or like whatever you want. You can mix it up. So I think that that's great. You have a lot of options for what you want to do. The app is so clearly organized, which is just essential. I love a clean, easy, user-friendly app. Madeline clearly puts a ton of work into this every single week by uploading new workouts every week. That is, like, kudos to her. That is a ton of work on top of having 2 other programs that you have to keep track of. So I could definitely see how this app would really help somebody stay on track between the calendar and the email reminders. So if the question is like, is this program good for you? Would I recommend it? I think it's gonna come down to what your priority is. What is your priority with workout program? If your priority is accountability, like having that calendar trackability, you want to be able to track your workouts through an app, I think this app is great for you. And then I would also just keep in mind your fitness level, which brings us to who would I recommend this program for. So I would recommend this to an intermediate athlete. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is beginner friendly just because just because it does involve so much of that same movement pattern over and over again. So I think that this would be better suited for somebody who really knows their body, somebody that could add in hinge work if you felt like your glutes or hamstrings weren't getting enough attention, or would like be cool with skipping the cardio burst. I know me, like when I was in the beginning of my fitness journey, I used to just push myself to my absolute max every single day, and I think the first program I ever followed was the Bikini Body Guide. And like, if I didn't finish the Bikini Body Guide, like if I didn't go through the whole thing, I was like, I suck, I'm a failure, I didn't go through the whole thing exactly as she said. But I think if I revisited that later on and was like really set on doing that program, I'd be a little bit more comfortable going away from the guide, doing something else, adding in things that made me feel good. So if you're not comfortable with different exercises with different equipment at the gym, I would probably start with a different program just to get a little, just to like dip your toes in the water before you dive into this. Healthy knees and a healthy back are a must for this program in my opinion. Again, unless you want to add in your own regressions of all of the jumping movements. So again, if you have weak knees, chronic ankle sprains, or like disc issues in your back, I would look for a low impact program. I think that a low impact program would be a little bit better suited for your needs, or again, just approach this program knowing that you may have to change some things up. Madeline is a freaking ray of sunshine. If you don't follow her on Instagram, go ahead and give her a follow. She radiates positivity, and I love the way that she approaches health and fitness. I've seen her talk a couple of times about changing the narrative around health and fitness, which is so important. She has this whole highlight reel where she talks about how a good workout does not equate to how many calories you burn or how sweaty you got, and like, amen to that, sister. Amen to that. So I really love her content, and if this program isn't for you, I still suggest giving her a follow. And that concludes my review, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry I haven't done a review video in like 500 years. Quarantine has been very challenging for me. I just felt very unmotivated physically, mentally, and creatively. I just haven't really been there, so I've been kind of slow on YouTube, but I have recently been feeling a little bit more motivated, so I'm trying to get back into it. As you can see, I'm back. I'm trying to be back on the grind. So thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below who you want me to review next, and I'll put them on my list. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video, and I will see you guys next time.